Okay, this one's a lot of fun. We're doing an eggs Benedict, but with a twist. We're doing 2 fry breads instead of English muffins. Let's take a look. We'll start with the Brabant potatoes. I've nuked these 4.5 minutes and let them cool overnight. I'll half them and cut them into chunks while the pan heats. Just a good rough chop on these. I didn't think I had enough potatoes, so I nuked a few more, and I'm just going to go ahead and cook them hot. What we're doing is just getting the starches cooking so they brown up and crisp nicer in the pan. A little granulated garlic and paprika to season these. Now the Hollandaise. We'll just do a couple of egg yolks here, room temperature. I'll freeze those whites and use them in something later. I'm going to whisk these yolks a bit now to get them aerated a bit. Do about a capful of lime juice. I prefer to use lime over lemon in a Hollandaise. I think it has a brighter flavor. Pinch of kosher salt. And a shot of Tabasco. Taste it for seasoning. A little more lime juice here. I set this up a little backwards for the convenience of filming it, but I would normally put the hot oil on a back burner. I'd recommend you do that at home. Just a little canola oil here. A pinch of Cajun seasoning. You can use cayenne too. Got some water heating for the Hollandaise there. You want to slowly build the emulsion by steadily whisking the butter into the yolks. Whisking the yolks now causes them to thicken, increase in volume, and provide a base for the butter. The steady action allows the butter to be suspended and form the emulsion. So I'll whisk and add butter. Whisk and add some more butter. You'll also notice it's alright to move the sauce on and off the heat if I feel it's getting too hot. You really don't want to make scrambled eggs here, you want to make a sauce. Another point is to make sure that the water is not touching the bottom of the bowl. That'll also make it too hot. You can also remove the pan from the heat, like I've done here, and placed in the back burner while I'm doing other things. To put the pan back on the heat, I'm going to work in the last of the butter here. Adding just a little bit of water because it seemed to thicken up pretty good on me. I just want to thin it a little bit. Remove that from the heat and keep it warm. So now it's fry bread time. I'm going to put the fry bread episode up on its own so you can refer to that. Just off camera, I'm going to flour some of these golf ball sized pieces of dough to make them easier to work with. Patting them out by hand into little thin cakes. Temperature is important. If you don't have a thermometer, drop some flour in. If it sizzles and turns brown right away, it's ready. If it sinks, it's not. Be sure when you put the fry bread in, place it away from you so that you avoid getting splattered. Alright, now to poach some eggs here. I just boil water and give it a spin and drop the eggs in. I don't add any vinegar. I always hear people recommend adding vinegar. I just use room temperature eggs. Got our Canadian bacon going in the back there, and some more fry bread. And now it's time to plate up. So I've got some of the Brabant potatoes on the plate, a couple of fry breads topped with some Canadian bacon, top that with a couple perfectly poached eggs. And now some nice, rich, creamy, smooth Hollandaise sauce. And a little sprinkle of paprika to top it all off. Okay, as you can see, that's a really awesome breakfast. I hope you'll give it a try. It's not as scary as it might appear at first. The Hollandaise is really easy if you just give it a shot. Work it on and off the heat, whisk it, and I find that the melted butter makes it a heck of a lot easier than dropping in the chunks and working them in. The Brabant potatoes are really great. They're something I've been doing since the late 80s when Cajun cooking became all the rage. Normally they're done with boiled cubed potatoes. You cube the potatoes, boil them until they're fork tender, and then fry them, once the starches have started cooking. I just find microwaving them works a lot easier to make it a lot quicker for me. Poaching the eggs are really easy. I've always found if you just get the water boiling, reduce the heat, swirl the water to create a vortex in the center, drop the egg in there, and then swirl it a little bit more, drop the next egg in, you'll get 2 really beautiful eggs. You can also do more. I just was using a small pot. And here again with the fry bread, if you pull off a larger ball, you can make a lot bigger size fry bread. Use a frying pan or a skillet and cook it up in that instead of the smaller sizes that I opted to do here. I just think it works a lot better. So there you go, a little different take on an Eggs Benedict. I hope you give it a shot. It's a lot of fun. It's a really impressive presentation, and it'll make a wonderful brunch meal or a weekend meal. So until next time, thanks for watching.